Good day, everyone. How are y'all doing? Hope everyone is doing well, feeling groovy, realizing the government doesn't love you, and also realizing that pretty much everything you've been told since the day you were born is a lie. It is July the 12th, 2025, 5:30 p.m. Mr. Buzz coming to you from the communist shithole known as Ontario, Canada. And I think we have some more information on who is murdering people with weather modification. So it's really funny the way this came. Yesterday, I got a text from a friend, my friend Matt. Thank you, Matt, if you're watching this. He was watching my videos about the whatever the thing is that hits, and you can hear it in your... Sometimes I hear it in one ear first and then the other one. And, a microwave weapon or something along those lines. I've been talking about it for quite a while in my videos. So and plus the weather modification. So he sent me a text about a place I'd never heard of called NEXRAD. Now, NEXRAD is the next generation weather radar. That's what it is. And it says here, this is what Google says, it's a network of Doppler weather radars used to detect precipitation and wind, providing valuable data for weather forecasting and storm tracking. Operated jointly by the National Weather Service, the Federal Aviation Administration, and get ready, and the U.S. Air Force, of course. NEXRAD's data helps map precipitation patterns and movements. Isn't that lovely? So I'd never heard of this. So I just read up a little bit on it and, saw the information that's available about it. It's been presented to look completely benign and just something to help them predict the weather and map precipitation patterns, like it says. Well, today on Jimmy Dore, a fella named Dane Wigington, who's been on Redacted several times, and he's been on Jimmy Dore before. He is the main guy who is watching the geoengineering and the cloud seeding and the actions of HARP, the hurricane creation, all that stuff, and he's been exposing it. Now, he is a real scientific guy, and his organization has equipment and know-how to literally record real hard data when they do their weather modification stuff, when they create hurricanes, cloud seed, whatever. So he is literal proof of them doing it. Well, yesterday was the first time I heard of NEXRAD. I'm watching that, and wouldn't you know it, that's who he says is doing all this. That is who is responsible for the Texas floods, Hurricane Helene last year in North Carolina, what they just did in Durham City in North Carolina, Dubai, it happened in Dubai too, all of it, and even the wildfires. They use this technology to create bad weather. Once they get the fire going, they create this draft and stuff with the wind, and that's what makes the fires go crazy the way they do. That and the fact they've already sprayed the area with certain chemicals that are accelerants, make the fire burn hotter and more wild. Hence the term wildfire. Because a wildfire doesn't really exist. You have to create one. Okay, there's no such thing as a natural wildfire. But anyway, then he goes on to explain, everybody thinks it's that Rainmaker company who, 2 days before the Texas floods happened, they were indeed doing cloud seeding in that area. It's like, no. That's not who created the flood. That's the red herring. So if you've never heard the term red herring, A red herring is something you put right in front of everybody to distract them away from what the real problem is. So it can be proven that this company, Rainmaker, did not cause that flood. But everybody accuses them of making that flood, their cloud seeding causing all that problem. And they can easily prove, no, they didn't. So it looks like case closed. Well, we thought it was the cloud seeding, but it's obviously not. They can prove it. And that's the end of it. That cloud seeding guy is doing that there to stop everybody from looking at what NEXRAD is doing. So Dane Wigington has proof of, they use frequency and, like it said in the description there, Doppler sort of thing. Apparently it takes 750,000 watts. It's kind of like HARP. HARP takes a ridiculous amount of power to do its thing. This NEXRAD thing is pretty similar by the looks of it. And if they're just mapping weather patterns and stuff, why did they need 750,000 watts of power? So basically he said what this does is it causes the precipitation to come from one condensed place and just stay there. And so what should be spread out over a larger area all comes down in one spot. And this is how they create these floods. According to him, it's pretty much impossible for these to be natural. Nature just doesn't do this. NEXRAD does. So if you want to know more about it, I left the episode of Jimmy Dore in the description. I recommend you watch it. This is something the world needs to know about and needs to freak out about. We need to stop this. It's just like I said too. He said, Jimmy Dore asked them, why are they doing this? Is this just to scare everybody about climate change so everybody will willingly go along with their demands, you know, the way they want to control us? I think, well, there's more to it than that. For instance, in North Carolina, lithium deposits, like I said in my video. In Iran, also lithium deposits, like I mentioned in a video. He doesn't talk about the smart cities, but he does say something about how they just want to clear off a piece of land, so this is how they do it. If they want the land for something else, and it's smart cities is what it usually is, they will hit it with a flood or a hurricane, kill the residents, destroy all the structures on that land, wipe it out, and then they refuse to let the people build. They won't give them rebuilding permits or anything. So, like in Maui, people are still not allowed to rebuild. It's a long time since that happened. So people are still homeless. Or they've given up and left, gone somewhere else. And they murdered most of the people who had ancestral rights to the land. So Lahaina will never exist again the way it did. It'll be a smart city now. This is how they clear them out, folks. Check it out. It's in the description. It'll verify pretty much everything I've been saying. The new piece of this is NEXRAD. Never heard of that before. Now I heard about it twice in 2 days. So thanks, Matt, for mentioning that. And give me a like, subscribe, check out the video from Jimmy Dore, and be very aware of weather warfare. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.